Welcome to I Want That, getting the dates, love, and life you crave. I'm your host, Liza Cooper, a love and dating coach and founder of the online group workshops, Find Love After 50. My personal story of finding love, and more importantly, reawakening all the parts of me I thought were gone forever after 50 and after divorce, went viral on TikTok because it resonated for so many. Join me as I interview couples, singles, and experts to uncover what love means in all of its beautiful forms, including the hurdles and how to overcome them. Together, we'll have powerful conversations that light the path to getting everything you want in life, especially in matters of the heart. In episode 2, I continue the conversation with New York Times bestseller Alina Adams, author of the new book, Go On Pretending, and her husband, Scott. They have real differences in background, including differences in race and religion. Did it matter to them? I go a bit deeper. But before the interview, listen to a quick clip of me on the streets of New York City, where I'm known as the love coach. I'm telling a stranger something to do in every relationship that I learned very late in life.
So I'm going to tell you something because I'm 54, so I'm much older than you. And one of the things that I wish I had developed earlier was around being direct about what I'm feeling, whether I'm feeling love or hurt, disappointed, because I'm still having to learn that because I didn't learn it when I was 21. And so if you thought of this person as a little bit of practice for life, what do you think of that if you tried to tell them? Now, they might say, I don't have those feelings back. So you have to be ready for that.
Yes. Yeah.
And be able to handle rejection, right? Because rejection, they say, is redirection. It's okay. But it's also a part of life, you know?
So, Alina, what about you? What's a little bit about your background?
I was born in the former Soviet Union. I was born in Odessa, which a lot more people know about over the last couple of years than pretty much knew where it was. And then I came to the United States. I came to New York to work for ABC Sports, first for soaps and then for ABC Sports. So I was kind of new to New York at the time we met. So Scott was very much the native New Yorker. While in the Soviet Union, I very much knew that I was Jewish because they really go out of their way to let you know that. When I lived in the Soviet Union and I had an internal passport under nationality, it didn't say Russian, it didn't say Ukrainian, it said Jewish. But my Judaism is also not the traditional American Judaism. So actually Scott, who grew up knowing a lot of American Jews, it was actually very different. So when he thought he knew, oh, you're Jewish, no, not like that. He has a nuclear engineering degree from MIT. I have a master's degree in writing for radio and television. So while I don't believe in right brain, left brain, let's just use that as a shorthand. So we're very different in that respect, pretty much every aspect.
Incredible.
And I'm, a big fan of reading and being with a novelist is pretty awesome. She also has a passion for science that actually allows us to have conversation where she's an expert in this, I'm an expert in this.
So one of the things I like to say is, we're a very sexy couple. Sometimes we lay in bed and we discuss education policy, which we're both really into.
The love for one of another. I mean, it's rare. I'm curious, have you ever met a couple that is up there with the love that you guys have for each other?
The short answer is no.
And Scott, what about your background and culturally, religiously?
Oh, just, old-fashioned, what you would expect from a stereotypical Black person, raised Christian, went to church with grandmothers and all this other stuff.
Remember when Alina is good at making decisions? So Alina pretty much said that they would be raised Jewish. We were sent to a rabbi for counseling because we wanted to be married by a rabbi, and that's what you had to do. And I think she threw us out. She was like, you guys have no issues.
Yeah.
Every question she asked, we had an answer for. She's like, you guys are fine. Why are you here?
When I met you and there was all that light and bubbles and butterflies floating around you.
Like a Disney movie.
And you're also an interracial couple. And I feel like even though that's much more common than ever before, you still take note of it. I mean, is that something that you think is true, that people take note of that, or not really?
Well, one of the things that my wife really pointed out to me after we started dating, was that apparently other women noticed me. And I'm like really oblivious to a lot of attention that I receive. And I find a lot of times it's really good to be oblivious.
Remember how impressed we were that I think we'd been married for over 20 years before I got really shoved on the subway and it was obvious why. There was a couple of weeks when somebody would yell at us. That was really weird.
Hmm.
It was like happened twice in the 2 week period. It was bizarre.
She notices.
But other than that, I mean, isn't that their problem, not our problem?
Yeah. So tell me about that. I mean, has that meant anything for your relationship to be interracial? Like, how has that affected you as a couple? And what were how did your family support or welcome you, your friends? What was that like?
Yeah, we sort of bulldozed our parents over. We
Yeah,
basically said,
it,
this is what's happening.
yeah,
This is why we're doing it.
it's a fait accompli. You can participate or not, but this is what's happening.
Well, it sounds like they're supportive.
No, they're worried about getting her back.
Really, I'm a lot. I'm really a lot, and they're getting up in years, and I don't think they could deal with it at this point. No, really, Scott puts up with a lot of energy. Remember what you interpreted as butterflies? And it can also be some rather intense energy.
Well, one
Oh,
thing that she has really avoided mentioning, which is really, really important, I don't bore her.
Well, that's part of the when I marry someone, you're right. Those are two different things.
Yeah.
When I marry someone, when I meet someone who's smarter than me, I'll marry them is not the same as he doesn't bore me.
When you're with people who are intelligent, it's really important to be able to say and think of things that are unique for them. In other words, that are novel. And
Hmm.
so there's always the novelty. Apparently, I provide just enough novelty to keep her excited.
Well,
I think
it's
that's
novelty.
amazing advice actually for other couples about keeping things novel and making sure that you're always stimulating your partner and I think that's actually powerful and kind of unusual guidance.
Well, it's not just novelty, it's also a different perspective. Like we had, this is a small incident. I don't even know if you even remember. So he usually used to pick up our daughter from gymnastics class, and she was about 9, maybe. And she had forgotten her water bottle at gymnastics. And they were already on the subway coming back home, and she had forgotten her water bottle. And he turned around and they went to get the water bottle. And I'm of those, what's it called? No rescue parenting. I'm one of those that when a kid makes a mistake, they're supposed to deal with the consequences of it. But his response was I said, you're teaching her that if she screws up, somebody's going to swoop in to rescue you. And he said, no, what I'm teaching her is when you make a mistake, you can fix it. So it's not even just novelty for the entertain me factor. It's also a very different way of looking at it.
So we can learn from
Yeah.
each other.
And I'm curious in terms of that, because I think bringing different perspectives to one another is a hugely important part of a relationship. And how have you changed from the other? And maybe what have you changed purposely to make the relationship better or to do that for your partner? The differences between Alina and Scott have mattered to other people, but not to them. They see much more overlap and the beauty of differing perspectives gained from those very differences. In episode 3, Alina and Scott share 3 tips for lasting love. They seem to know what they're doing. So whether you're in a relationship or hope to be and think, I want that about Alina's and Scott's relationship, their tips are pretty actionable. And if you enjoy my podcast, please subscribe, like, comment, and share. If you would like to join my online small group workshop for those seeking a healthy relationship, sign up at findloveafter50.guru.